There is so much happening in the cosmos and on Earth that really we need a place at Shit Show Talk to really look at all the news articles coming from around the world. And in this episode, I'm going to take a look at time travelers, the pyramids of Giza, and cosmic rays. I'm going to take a look at the sixth mass extinction, and of course, the Trump family. There's some explosive material in this video, and I'm going to ask you the question: do you think it's fun, fascinating, or fake news that we're taking a look at? And that's what the conversation's about. There's just an era of information and misinformation, so let's talk about it. Send me your news articles, join the conversation, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, and you know what? We're going to get to the bottom of some of these things, but let's just start the journey right now. Okay, so the first incredible news story we're going to take a look at is this whole project using cosmic rays to scan the Great Pyramids. And while they were using this technology as part of the Scan Pyramids project, they discovered a void inside this Great Pyramid, and the void is massive, and they don't know what it's about. In fact, the whole scientific study they were doing had nothing to do with the contents of the pyramid. So as a result, this scientific group, once they found it, they reached out to the Egyptologists and archaeologists, and they want to know, what do you guys think is going on in this pyramid? And so now it's kind of open for review. So maybe some of you are specialists in the area. Maybe some of you have been studying Karl Monk's code, which is increasing in popularity. What do you think is going on inside that cavity? Now, some of our viewers believe that the pyramids are an astronomical phenomena, but that it could have been inspired by the gods, by aliens, or by humans in inventiveness. But there's a technology and a mathematical code to the Great Pyramids that is still confounding the modern mind. So there's clearly something about the pyramids that we need to explore. And my question to you is, who do you believe built the pyramids? Do you believe it was human, alien, or supernatural? Let us know in the comments section. Now, one of my favorite theories when I look into things that I like to be inquisitive about came up in regards to the pyramids being potentially a battery source for spacecraft. Now, this theory was completely new to me and it blew me out of the water. Do you know anything about the Mercury project? Do you believe that the pyramids were actually some kind of giant receptors to the cosmos? Let me know in the comments section. Have you ever seen a news article that literally stopped you in your tracks? Well, that's what happened when I got this news article sent to me by a viewer like you. So thank you for sending us information at Shit Show Talk. Now, this is written in the Quebec Telegram. I don't know much about the news site. It's definitely something that I have some questions about, but this article kept grabbing my attention. And it was written by someone called Magic CTR. And he writes about a project led by Professor Sam Parnia. And it's a group of scientists studying out of the School of Medicine for the New York University, and they have watched people die, and they've also collected testimonies of people who've died and come back. And what they're proving is something everybody commonly knows, that there are people who come back from the dead and describe what they saw and heard. And sometimes those descriptions are out-of-body experiences where people are hovering over top of the surgical table and they can hear and see everything going around them. But other times people are simply aware that they are conscious after their heart stops. And so apparently he says in this article that people feel themselves as prisoners in their own body, that people can see and hear but cannot respond. Ugh. Anyhow, what do you guys think about this? This definitely opens a kettle of fish. Is this fun, fascinating, or fake? Leave a comment and let us know what you think. Okay, are you ready for a very cool conspiracy theory? Well, it involves Barron Trump, the son of Donald Trump, and it all ties to the book that you're looking at right now on the screen. And there was a Huffington Post article that just came out written by David Moye, and he talks about a conspiracy theory people have been talking about on Reddit and other locations, talking about whether or not the Trumps are a time-traveling family. And it ties to the fact that Donald has a relative named John Trump who has had access to Nikola Tesla's work. Now, if you study Nikola Tesla, you'll know that he claimed to be able to travel through time, and there's a very strong case to support that he had found the mechanism for doing so. Anyhow, in the book Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, and I'm going to read a quote here right from the article written by Dave. Dave writes, Barron is a wealthy young man living in a place called Castle Trump, but his real adventures begin when Don, the master of all masters, inspire him to travel to, wait for it, Russia, where he finds a portal that allows him to travel to other lands. And so that's an actual quote from the article written by David Moye. And there's a lot of people who believe that there is a legitimate theory that John Trump and his work with Nikola Tesla has given the presidential family access to time travel, which might explain some of their unbelievable ability to have a level of power not previously seen in the White House. And so what do you guys think? Is this fun? Is this fantastic? Or is this fake? Please let me know what you think in the comment section, and if you have any information about time travelers, then definitely let the Shed Show Talk community know, because the whole concept of time travel, let alone time travel potentially impacting the White House, I mean, let's be honest, is that fantastical? Is that fake? Or is that absolutely fun to think about? I think it's a little bit of everything. I mean, it's very bizarre that we have this document talking about Barron Trump, Donald Trump, and the adventures with Russia. It seems a little too eerie of a coincidence, and I know some people who watch our show definitely don't believe in coincidences. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments section. Another popular topic on our Twitter and from comments by viewers like you is the upcoming 6th mass extinction event. And there's been news articles about populations of bugs going down by 75%. Of course, this article by Dana Dovey, who talks about thousands of these jellyfish appearing on the beach in New South Wales, Australia. And one witness described it as nightmarish. All these jellyfish were there wriggling alive, unable to get back into the ocean. But what would cause thousands of them to pour up into this beach section? And frankly, if you saw this, what on earth would you do? And is it another sign of serious issues coming out of the ocean? Now, I'm going to take a look at various articles talking about this mass extinction event that some believe is happening right now, because I believe it ties to a lot of the conspiracy theories going on around the world. The jellyfish are simply a topic for this episode to let you know that we're going to take a closer look at some of these events. But sometimes it's easy for us, if we don't like a certain animal or creature or we're afraid of them, to not be interested in what's happening. But listen, thousands showing up on the beach is definitely something I find fascinating, not fake, and really concerning. But you tell me what you think in the comment section. Okay, this next news article definitely caught my attention, and I found it in the Catholic News Agency. It was written by Hannah Brockhouse, and it's called Have Souls in Purgatory Visited People on Earth. Now, that title is definitely something that's going to grab your attention, but why did it keep my attention? And it's because I learned that there is a museum of the souls in purgatory. It's an actual museum that has testimonies and artifacts pertaining to people who have come back after death and left their mark on something. And 3 of these cases involve actual fingerprints. And I find that interesting because I'm not sure when fingerprinting became a thing, but these testimonies came from the 1800s. So I'll quickly cover the ones that Anna talks about in her article. The first one is of Senorita Mary, who left a fingerprint on a pillowcase the night after she died in 1894. And then there's another one where there was a prayer book, and her friend had left 3 fingerprints. And her friend had died in 1871, and her friend came back and left fingerprints on this prayer book. So that would be very significant. And then there was this really interesting kind of story about a German prayer book, and a fellow's brother left fiery fingerprints on this book after he had died. And it's apparently that he wanted prayer to help him with his lack of piety. And so these are just some of the things at the Museum of the Souls in Purgatory. I learned something new. I had no idea that this place existed. If any of you go there, please take photos and let me know what you've learned. The whole concept of purgatory is definitely a mind bender, but can the dead leave their fingerprints? I mean, is that fun? I don't know. Is it fascinating? Absolutely. Is it fake? I don't know. I don't have enough information. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Next up, we have an article about a haunted island in the middle of the ocean, and apparently locals are terrified because this so-called island of ghosts is surrounded by orbs and orb sightings, and its origins are still largely a mystery. Apparently, according to an article written by Anna Slater, that archaeologists and others are still baffled. And you can see the images that are from Anna's article, which she took from the video from the Science Channel or the Science Network, that show this island. It's actually just off of the location you're seeing on the screen right now, and it has walls that are 25 feet tall, 17 feet thick. So you're talking like essentially almost 3 6-foot tall individuals standing or laying down horizontal head to toe, head to toe. That's how thick these walls are. So why did the walls really need to be that thick? Now, if you look at Wikipedia and other sources, there's lots of reasons or belief systems about why this place exists. Some think it's Atlantis. Some people think it's a mythical place. And yet what really stands out to me is that the name of the island actually means the spaces between. And I find that really fascinating because now some people believe that name refers to the canals on the island, which you can kind of see in the picture right now. Maybe it does, but I can't help but wonder, since it has mythological roots, that perhaps this might have a bit of a deeper meaning. What do you guys think? Is this fun? Is this fake? Or is this fantastic? Okay, this next news article, I believe I have saved the best for the last, and it's all about time travelers and the Trump family. And it might sound really far-fetched, but there's an article that was published by, let's see, what's his name, David Moye, and it was published in the Huffington Post, and it's titled "Internet Freaks Over 19th Century Book Featuring Boy Named Baron Trump." Now, in this book from the 1800s, David writes that this Baron goes on an adventure, and he does so under the influence of a Don who is the master of all masters, and it occurs in a place called Castle Trump, and Baron is a wealthy young man, and guess where the Don inspires Baron to go travel? Wait for it. Russia. Okay, Russia. And when Baron is there, he finds a portal that allows him to travel to other lands. And this is a direct quote out of this news article by David Moye, so go check it out. Now, according to the article written by David, as it goes on, that there's a whole lot of coincidences tying to the modern day Trumps. And one of the ultimate keys right now is that Donald Trump had an uncle by the name of John Trump, and John Trump had the papers from Nikola Tesla. Now, this is really significant because Nikola Tesla has physical evidence, or had physical evidence, of time travel that involved a lot of people. And I'm not going to get into that time travel discussion because it's an entire video series on its own. But if you want to go check it out, if you find it fun, fascinating, definitely go check out time travel and Nikola Tesla. So when it comes to this book, when I realized that not only is there a Don and Baron Trump who have a Castle Trump, not a Trump Tower, but a Castle Trump, who are involved with Russia and a major power scheme, and that Barron is a wealthy child. I mean, there's just lots of layers that mirror the modern Trump family. And some people cannot accept that it is simply coincidental. But let's just think for a moment, what if? What if a Trump family member did have the information from Nikola Tesla to achieve time travel? I mean, that seems really far out there. And I know there's a lot of people who would say that's a fake concept. But I'm not a theoretical physicist to rule it in or to rule it out. Do I believe it's possible that Barron Trump is not just a current figure, but an actual literary figure in the 1800s, and that perhaps these are the same person, or that the book written in the 1800s is evidence of time travel itself? I mean, that's a really wild concept. What do you guys think? I mean, how many coincidences are there? I'd love to have a statistician look at it and create a calculation of the likelihood of how many coincidences are in the story versus the current Trump family. So getting back to the notion of time travelers, goodness, just think of the implication if the Trump family had the ability to time travel. And I just want to throw one more thing in there that's fun and fascinating, but a lot of people talk about Trump's son-in-law as well, Jared Kushner, who some members of the Middle Eastern leadership have talked about Jared Kushner as one of the most intelligent humans they've ever met. And it's been something conspiracists have talked about. Anyhow, let's check out viewer comments, because this is my favorite way to wrap up a video. Okay, the first comment is by Hamilton Skywatch, and Hamilton left this on a video by Paul about a UFO sighting and an ambulance chaser. And here is Hamilton saying that there have been a lot more orb-type sightings the past couple of years. Thank you for letting us know about that. If you happen to catch any on film, send them to shitshowtalk@gmail.com so that I can take a look. And thank you for sharing your comment. So Lena sent me a series of videos about an orb sighting, and I'm still reviewing them, to be honest. I want to thank Lena for sending those to me. And if you have your own orb sightings, feel free to send them to me as well at shitshowtalk@gmail.com. And orb sightings are sometimes they take a bit of investigation and some time to consider how to put them in a video. So thank you, Lena. I will be in touch. And my name's Beth. This is Shed Show Talk. I thank you for joining the conversation. Remember to comment, share our videos, and subscribe, and join our community.